We're live.
We're live. We're here.
Sorry.
We decided to come back live this week because I wanted to talk to you about the Build a Line challenge. Some of my pals have taken, oh, look at all these people here already. Chris K was first. Hi, Chris, Julie, Cindy, Maureen. I'm not getting any video on YouTube. Anyone else?
Are
What?
you joking?
No, we're getting it.
No, you're not getting
We're
it.
not getting it. Oh.
I'm getting it on my side. That's weird.
Well, let's see what we can do here,
It's probably
Maureen.
Excuse me. There you go.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live.
She just refreshed it, honey. If you just hang in there, you probably...
Just remove it and
No
then put it
video
back
yet,
in.
no video. There is now. We have video.
Yeah,
so
we
if
have.
we have it, you guys... Now is good. Betty says okay.
Yeah, you just have to take
Video
it out.
is working. Okay, we're ready to go. Thanks. Hey, Melissa. Melissa and Harpo. Yeehaw.
Sorry.
So glad to see you, honey. I'm so glad to see everybody. I'm so glad to see anybody. Jeez, I'll tell you what. You guys are the best. And we do have a fun time with these videos. I'm probably not going to be doing as many of them as I once did, but when I do, we're going to have a party for sure. You know, and there'll be a gift drawing. Lauren doesn't have gift drawing with hers, but there will be one today, so be sure you get your name on there and say something. But anyway, I just thought I was going to do something else. I have this bracelet making idea that I actually did a long, long time ago, but I've improved on it. And so I thought, well, maybe I'd, show you how to do that, because you can make a lot of things from that. It uses bead and link chain. But then I got to think, well, Build a Line is coming right up. And I know there are some of you guys that are planning on doing it again. And there are a lot of you guys that already did and found it to be helpful. I haven't heard from too many people who didn't think it was helpful, but then they might not say anything. So I don't know. It just depends. But it's coming right up. We're going to do the sign-ups for Build a Line probably week after next. This week, it's all the holiday stuff going on, so we're not going to be doing it this week, but we will do it the following week, and I'll give you dates. Honestly, if you want to do it, you can just get hold of me and tell me you want on the list, and I can let you know when we, open sign-ups. I just haven't wanted to take anybody's payments quite yet, because I have to keep track of it, and everything, and do it in an organized way. And so I thought, well, I'll just wait for another week and let everybody have their holiday and all their fun, and then we'll come back to it. But anyway, the other day I was playing around, just taking a little break and sitting here, and I tend to think in lines because I did have a line for a long time. I don't always, repeat the pieces and, go out to the max with it. Sometimes I'll make a piece and I'll say, this would be good in a line, and here's why. Whether I tell you or I, just tell myself. There you go, Maureen. Hey, Carol. Hey, Colleen. Hi, Demita. Jan, Marsha's here. Barb Kelly, Marjorie Roberts, Pat Counts. Kristen Reich, Rich, not Reich, Rich. I always get that wrong, Kristen. Next time you see me, you can smack me. Cassandra, Michelle Flores, Pamela Covert is here. Well, we got a good group today. This is wonderful. I'm so happy. Anyway, so I tend to think in lines, and so I was just moving some stuff around on the table that I just needed to really clear off my table. And some started coming together, as you'll have that, So I thought that it might be good for us to go ahead and get together today and for me to demonstrate how that process works, because some of you guys don't have any problem with that, and that's fine. Others just don't think that way. They've never had any reason to think that way. And they don't understand, what in the world is she talking about? And so I could give you an idea so that if you're just thinking you might want to take it, you'll know kind of what to expect from the class. And also, too, if you don't, it'll just still give you some ideas on how you can make your design work better. Because the point of it is, most of us sell our work. I'm going to tell you, Maureen, what makes a line. In fact, I'm going to show you. Okay, so hang in there with me. How many here, just put me, or something, you know, me. How many here sell their work? How many sell with I mean, as I look down, I see who's here. Most of you do. You know, most of us do.
Maybe some of them may say, I try.
Uh-huh. Well, Karen does, Barb, Chris, Jana, Cindy. There's going to be a lot of me's. A lot of me's coming up. But go ahead, say me if you want.
They are once in a while. Me too.
Once in a while is fine. Not yet, well, that's good then. So this is good for you. Hey, Andy. Pat does. Michelle Flores. I know Michelle. Michelle, wasn't that you that I saw in the Stampington? Didn't you get, I hope I'm not embarrassing you, but didn't I see a project that you just did that was in Bell Armor, maybe? Or was that an old one? Or am I just old and addled? I don't know. But I thought I saw you in there. Cassandra says she sells polymer clay stuff. Well, Cassandra, you do other stuff that's gorgeous, so you could sell that too. Demita K says she loves to keep her creations. They take so much time. You know what? I understand. I have a whole armoire chest. It's 10 drawers. Tall chest. And if it's not 1928 jewelry, it's my jewelry. I mean, it's just full. There's just stuff like when I did my Carnivale line for the class last year, I did sell about half of it, maybe, well, maybe 2/3, but there were a couple pieces I'm like, not till I make another one. And I haven't had a chance to make another one yet, but I'm going to continue that line. But yeah, there's stuff. I made something the other day that I said, oh no, this is mine. So there's nothing wrong with that. But also, Demita, in the class, we learn about options with our designs. Sometimes we make things that take so much time that we couldn't sell them if we wanted to. And a lot of times key to being able to sell our work quickly and at a price most people will pay has much to do with how much time it took. Because, you know, your time's worth something too. And I think you realize that. So, no, that wasn't you, Michelle. Okay, now I'm stymied. I'm gonna have to go and see who in the world that was. I'm pretty sure it was a Michelle that I knew. But one day it will be you. How's that? I haven't submitted anything for a while. The last thing I submitted and they took was the tassel tower, and that I was really tickled because they let me talk about how I found the original pendant. So that was kind of cool. But anyway. Just had to have a little drink of something there.
It went blank.
Mixed media wall are now. Oh, shut up. Cassandra, you sound like me. I say that a lot of times too. And no, I'll shut up. But then I keep talking anyway. So anyhow, here's who we got.
Yeah, I just lost it.
We just lost it here.
Sorry, guys.
Is it coming back?
Yeah.
I don't see anything moving.
It's because I
There we are.
bumped it.
We're back. Javi bumped it. It's her fault.
It was my fault.
Hey, guess what? I think Javi's going to be in the class this time.
Okay.
I'm trying to talk to her, talk her into it. How much you want to bet she'll be doing something with wire?
It's always wire. I will do some with.
I could never charge my time for the things I make because that would make the price point too high. Okay. I understand that, Maureen, and that's another thing you learn in the class. You learn to think deeper than normally you think. What could I make that would be pretty and that what people would like, but doesn't take me more than a half an hour to make, and that the parts aren't killer. Now, a lot of people say with the class starting out, well, you know, I'm a one-of-a-kind artist and I'm never going to be anything but that. That's fine. Deborah Long made a comment on Facebook today. Hey, Nancy. That she has a hard time getting away from the one-of-a-kind mentality, and that's okay. it's okay. You don't have to do repeat work. But that she learned a lot about, her customers and costing stuff out, and about, how much time she puts into stuff. That's what's a big thing she took away from the class. So there's something for everybody, and maybe if you take the class, you'll realize why I say to make more than one. Um, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be your showstopper. Everybody, especially those who love one of a kind, should have one of a kinds in their booth or on their Etsy. That's your window shopping stuff. That's the stuff that gets people to stop and look. They don't buy that stuff so much because it costs a lot of money. It has to. You got a lot of expensive parts in it. You got some time. You can't sell it cheap. But it's like your artwork on a wall, like Cassandra's artwork for the wall. It's like that. You put it in your booth, you put it on your Etsy, and it's there for people to see what you can do. How that you're not just somebody that sits there and bangs out, um, you know, earring after earring all day. You you make stuff that has a lot of vibe and personality, and there's some skill to it. Not that earrings don't take skill, but I mean, just saying, um, you don't just do easy stuff. You do hard stuff too. That's what that shows you do. So let's see what Michelle says. I tend to give many of my creations to my family and friends. I love teaching as well, but I haven't charged for my time yet. I think I was born to teach, but the older I get, I think it's time to stop. But I have problems charging for teaching anything too, Michelle. And the reason I do is because I sell these parts. And a lot of you come and get them from me. And I feel like I owe it to you to help you, if you don't know what to do with them, to give you some ideas and help you. But there are certain things I've gotten over that about. And the Build a Line class is one of them. There is a fee for Build a Line. It's not high, but there is a fee because I have to spend so much time doing that and overseeing that over the course of 3 months, because it takes 3 months, that I just feel like I need to be compensated a little bit. What you get from it is worth more than you pay for it. If you've never taken it before, it costs $95. And that comes down to less than $1 a day to be able to come into that classroom. That's more than you'd spend at a checkout, on gum. It's not more. I mean, it's cheap. Because the class starts January 8th and it goes until like the first, second week of April. And don't think, oh man, I can't be doing this. No. The reason it's long is so that everybody has time to catch up. It's not in real time. You come when you can. So if you have a day job, then come in the evening. If you can't come every day, that's okay. Try to come every other day then, so you don't get too far behind. We use modules that you can print out. They're like chapters to a book. And it covers each subject. And then we have class discussion, just like at the Facebook group, at the creative group. We have our not class discussion, group discussions all on one thread. It's very much like that. But there's a lot that gets said. I'm going to add video to it this year. And also the book will be out. And for those of you who are interested in the book, when it comes out, you will see quickly that it's the Build a Line class. There's a lot of the Build a Line class in there, but it's based on practical examples, real life examples. Someone who did it big, like Mr. Bernie in 1928. It covers every step of his journey and everything he learned he needed to do. And then it covers mine, which at the beginning was almost just the same as Mel's. It all started out the same way, on a kitchen table, no kidding. And mine grew to a point. I had a very large line. We had over 500 store accounts, and my things were in showrooms all across the United States too. But I didn't last as long as him. And there's a reason why I didn't. and it's, you know, it's a teaching lesson. So I've, you know, talked about that in the book, and he was very gracious to allow me a whole chapter to discuss it. And then he gives some advice in the book too. So it's not, it's a great story, but it's not just a story. It's also the build a line class, so in a practical way. So anyway, Melissa says, no, don't stop. I won't stop. I'll keep yakking till I kick over. Probably until you guys tell me to stop. Okay. So ladies who are, let's see what Gloria says. Ladies who are shy, normally afraid to ask questions. Not like Miss Gloria, who has no problem with it. We love her. Um, Balk is a safe, closed group. No questions too stupid or silly. And that's the truth. There, you can ask or say whatever, so long as you say it nice. If you get frustrated, you can say you are. We'll try to help you not to be. That's why we're there. We're there to help, just the same way as the creative group is there to help. But to just get back to the basic of it, because Maureen said, I don't even know what a line is, you know. Hey, Maria, um, you take a main thing, a focal point. I was messing around with this grid chain. I had this grid chain plated in silverware, which came out more like light gunmetal. It's really unusual, but it does go with their silver stuff. And then the gold, which some of you have bought some of that. It's on the site. There's a little bit left. And then I had some done in gingerbread, but I have one left. That's pretty. But I was thinking, what can I do with this? Because the rusted iron is really quite dark. And some people aren't quite sure what to do with rusted iron. It's so unusual. It's not gunmetal. It's not dark, dirty brass ox, dark, you know, stuff. It's not gingerbread. But it has elements of all of those in there. So I'm thinking, okay, let me just take this wafer out. So I'm thinking, okay, so what can we do with this? And I had a bunch of those stones, you know, these ones. Here, let me just show you something. You know, these stones that are on the site, I just ordered some more.
You did?
Yes, I did. I got the lampwork ones with the little rosebuds in them, and I got the sea opal and a couple other ones. But anyway, here these kind. Okay, why do I have so many of these when they're expensive stones? Well, for every 12 you buy, it seems like there are 6 that are damaged, which frosts my butt. And the supplier and I had quite a discussion about it last week too. But some of them were cracked in half. That doesn't mean the ones that you would buy or get would have that problem. No, the bad ones are all taken out of there. Javi looks at them, and so does Diane. And the ones that are still good enough, like maybe they have a chip to the underside, I wouldn't sell you that. But I don't have a problem with it because I'll just set it and no one will ever see it. So I kept them. I kept a bunch of them that were messed up so that I could use them. I'll show you for example. See this one? This one's bit. That's what we say in the antiques biz. When you get a piece of glass, it's got a little chunk out of it. It's bit. This one's bit right here. It's very rough around the edges. There's a little chink out of it. I would never sell that to you. No, no, no. If there was a little tiny bit of roughness, yeah, I would, because that's kind of in the making, as they say, and you have to expect it. But I'm not giving you anything with a chunk out of it, even if it is on the back.
I remember there was one that cracked all the way in the middle.
Oh yeah, and there was another one that did too. Here's another one. See, it's got a chunk here on the side.
Yeah.
Now I can, maybe not, because this kind of dense. I may not be able to set this one, but you know, like that. I'm not going to give you stuff like that. You know, that's goofed up like that. So anyway, so I had these. So I thought, well, let me mess around with them and see, you know, what can I do. So I had my chain, and I thought, huh. Well, we'd had a bunch of rusted iron restocks come in this last week. I don't know if you know that. So I took a few pieces out because I want to kind of play around with them because I know build line's coming up, and I thought, well, maybe I'll do rusted iron this time. What is the link for the chain? I don't know, Javi, can you find, I'm not sure we even have any left, Betty. I have some here in the office, though. I can replenish it. But there might be some. She wants the grid chain. We only have the gold up.
Oh, that's
Yeah, if you
nice.
want the gold, Betty, I think we have a little bit left. The silver is not on the site. If you want it, just I did a very, very limited amount of it because I wasn't sure, if I was going to like it or not. So I don't have any to sell at this time. But if I sell chain in, if I send chain or raw stuff in again to have it plated, I'll throw a little bit more in because I bought, I don't know, it's over 100 foot. I bought from the 1928 factory. They have necklaces made out of this stuff. And I just had to have some. So he said, well, this is the last roll. He says, you want it? So I took it. And it was very expensive. And I was thinking, oh, I should have done that. But I did. So I have some to plate. What I do is I cut it because then I can just throw it in with findings and get him plated. He'll plate it like that. But if I send it in on a spool, one continuous length, like 100 feet, then he has to plate it by the foot. And the price just went up 3 times. So I'm like, well, what are we going to do with this piece anyway? We're going to probably make a charm bracelet or use it for the front of a bib necklace. So what the hey, So I just cut it in 6-inch lengths and threw it in a batch. And the rest is history. So that's how that went. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm mic'd up. So anyway, so did you find it? Do we
No,
have
I
any?
think we have it out of stock.
Did we sell it all? I know
I think we
a
did.
couple people bought some this morning. Deborah Long. It is a beautiful chain. But you can get hold of me because I have some more, Betty. The pieces that I have, they're not quite 6 inches. So I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them. That's all. Yeah, Michelle, I hope you can do the class because we have a really good time. Usually we have 25, 30 students. I always hope for more. The very first Build-A-Line, let me tell you the history of the Build-A-Line. Some of you guys were in it. The very first Build-A-Line was 6 years ago. I wanted to teach this class based on my own experiences, but I'd never taught a class online before. Just I'd done my YouTubes, but I never taught a class. And so I just said, hey, who would be interested in doing this? It's free this year. But there were strict rules, very, very strict rules with it. We had a project and you had to be on time because I felt at that time the big deal was that you needed to learn to work with a deadline because a lot of us artists, we're free will and we don't work with deadlines. And if you're going to make any money, you got to work with a deadline. So I thought, I'm going to impose a deadline in this class and you got to meet the deadline. And we had 2 parts of the challenge. The first one is we showed our idea for the line we were going to create. And we had to write a blog about it. And a lot of people like, oh man, a blog? I mean, they had no clue, but they figured it out and they got a blog. And then they had to do a blog about it. And then we had a blog hop. And then at the end, you showed your line, and we had another blog hop. And then we had a winner that the admins for the group, the judges for the class, chose the winner based on merit. It wasn't a random drawing in that case. And that's how we did it. And it was hard to choose. We had some great work, but that first year we had over 60. But we had a few drop out because they didn't realize I meant it. We're going to have these rules and that's going to be how it is. But over time, even though I still believe that the rules were good, and you do need to have a deadline, stuff happens. And why should anybody have to be panicking about it? I mean, one poor girl had some kind of an emergency, medical emergency happen with her. And she was released from the emergency room and she made her husband rush her back home so she could finish her blog and get it up in time so that she wouldn't be eliminated. And I got to thinking about that. I'm like, oh, I don't want to put anybody under that kind of pressure. Although in the real world it happens, but it's not for me to do to anybody. So, I got to thinking about it. I'm like, no, we're not going to be like that. So now we don't have blogs. No blogs. You don't have to learn to blog. It held some people back. They didn't want to join us because they didn't want to blog. The cabochons are Bohemian foilback cabochons. And they have different names, multi-opal,
Multi-black opal, and
and
this is sea opal,
sea
and this is fire
opal,
opal.
and this is some kind of Mexican thing
No,
too.
that's fire opal.
Fire opal, yeah. You'll see them on the site.
Just type in opal.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you don't. Nobody's ever late, Kim, so don't worry about it. So, anyway, so that I took all those rules away, and it's just really, really simple now. I just want you to learn. I want you to come and be relaxed and learn. We still do a group project at the end, and in the middle we post a picture to a special Pinterest board. So you make a picture and you upload it. Most of you guys know how to do that. If you don't, we'll try and help you with it. And then there's another board at the end where you can show your finished line. And what I'll do is when I'm done with this, I'll go get the links to those boards from last year because they're still up from all the years. And you can see how that went. If you decide you want to participate fully, then you need to do the project. If you're signing up to participate fully, you need to do the project. You need to make a line of 5 pieces, all goes together. And once again, I am going to show you how I came up with one. And it needs to have a theme of some sort. You choose anything. It's going to be Art Deco. It's going to be Victorian. It's going to be a color palette. It's going to be about cats. It's going to be about dogs. It's going to be about animals in general. It's going to be for teachers or a nurse, or it's going to be flowers or garden or fairies or steampunk or, you know.
And it has to all match, right?
Well, you know what? I don't criticize anybody. This is going to be your interpretation after taking the class of what a line is. So if you go off, stage left, but it's what you think it is, what you learned, then I'm not going to call you out and say, what the heck are you doing? No way. I don't do that. We don't do that on the creative group, and I don't do it in my classes. It's just not how people can learn. I had teachers when I went to school that did that to me, and to this day, I have problems with math because of it. And there's no reason why I should have problems with math, because I'm not stupid. But I just lock up when it comes to math, and it was because of a teacher I had. So there's no way I'm going to treat anybody like that. I want you to learn. And if you have questions and you need me, you know where I am. You just direct message me. And if you need a consult, we can set that up too. But the only thing about your 5 pieces, I do ask you, because I've given so much of my time to this class, and because I made really nothing for it when you consider how much time it takes, I do ask that you use product from Bisa Boutiques to make your line. It doesn't have to be 100% Bisa Boutique stuff, but I'd like it to be 70% if possible. If you don't do it, the only person who'll know is maybe me and Miss Gloria, because she knows everything. Sorry, Gloria, I just had to say that. But she's not going to say anything, and neither am I. So, I mean, that's what I would hope, out of respect for me, taking my time, that you would do. And then, but here's the thing. Don't let that hold you back if money's tight. Look around in your stuff. A lot of you guys have bought stuff from me for quite a while. Hey, Victoria, I'm so glad that you came. You're new to jewelry making. Well, I'm just hang in there with us. You're going to learn a lot. Hi, Laurel. Gloria's laughing now. Good, because I wouldn't want her mad at me. But anyways, so yeah, just start scarfing around in the stuff you already have. For me, when I do something like this, if I can afford it, I like to go buy new because it inspires me. Something new, something to jog my mind. But you can be just as inspired going through stuff you already have, okay? So, but if you're going to make something and you need new stuff, then as much as possible, if I have what you need, I would prefer for the Build Line class that you buy it from me. And that's, I think, the most of it. If anybody who's taking it, how to get Pinterest rights is confusing me. Maybe it's because I only have a phone for internet service. Huh. Well, basically, Michelle, for Pinterest rights.
Yeah. Don't you have to ask? Wait.
Yeah, you come to me and you ask me, and you have to be following me on Pinterest. So just direct message, private message me on Facebook, and I will give you the URL for my Pinterest boards. And then you just click on that, you'll go there and click follow. If you're already following me, then you don't have to do that. Just send me the URL for your boards so that I can find you, because I almost lay you odds, Michelle, that there's probably 5 Michelle Floreses on Pinterest. And that's the thing that just is difficult for me. People go under another name, or they go under a business name, and I can't find them. So
That's
I've got, yeah, that's you.
That's Tweety.
So Tweety, yeah, that's her nickname, Tweety. No wonder we got a chicken here, right? Yeah. So, yeah, Maria, we enjoyed having you in class. You worked so hard last year, and you did a great job. Get in on the deal of the day to stock up on pieces. Debbie, you're funny. Oh, break my train of thought. Yeah, we have new deal of the day now. It's a lot of fun. Some days you're going to go there and click on it and go, oh man, I can't believe she's doing this. And it's going to be something great, like, you know, a tool that you've lusted after for a long time, and I knock a big chunk off of it for one day, or as long as it lasts.
One day.
If we run out of them, then I just immediately put up another one, and maybe it's for a jumpy tool. So you never know. You know, it could be something outrageous. Maybe like, it could be like you can get a $25 gift certificate for, you know, $15,
Well, that's pretty good.
which you could give to a friend or keep and spend on yourself. It's just like giving yourself a good
Spoil
discount.
yourself.
You know, I'm not gonna do that a whole lot, but you know, it will happen. You know me. I get wild and crazy. I gotta take a drink here of Coke. So we just started it, and Javi and I had such a fun time setting it up. But anyway, I digress again as usual. If anybody doesn't understand what the hey I'm talking about, you can ask here, and
Just ask questions.
or you can message me Facebook. I'm here for you, and I'll explain it to you. Also, Javi's going to make me a banner this week for the front of the
The website.
website. And once she gets set up, she's going to do that actually in the next few days. And once you see it, you click on it, and then I will have it all written up. Just a synopsis of, I guess they call it a syllabus in college. You'll have a class syllabus, which will tell you exactly what to expect and what you need. And you don't need that much. Mostly you just need a little bit of time, and come and learn something new. And we all need to learn something new. And I think this year is going to be better than ever, just by virtue of the fact that I've been working with Mr. Bernie now going on 5 years. I was working with him for a while before I told you guys about it. So I learned so much from that man. There's just, I can't even tell you. And the biggest thing I learned from Mel is about how important costing your stuff is, costing it out, is that's where we lose money. It's too much of the stuff that we make and sell, we're not making any money. We might be going in the hole until you become aware of that. It can be difficult. And then how to adjust price, how to jiggle it to make it right, how to figure out what the customer will pay, and just I learned so much about that from Mel. Also, I learned a lot more about parts because I'd never dealt with pewter before, you know. So I know all about pewter now, which that was good. Yeah, there'd be some boutiques, but, well, I know that for a fact there aren't, because I just got my trademark and we didn't have any problem getting it. So, and if there had been other Bisa boutiques, we wouldn't have got our trademark under Bisa boutiques. Hey, Rachel, I'm so glad you came. So anyway, from poor Maureen, she's like, you know what? If you don't tell me how to do this pretty soon, I'm out of here. I hope you stayed. Okay, so I started with this. I was bouncing from this. What can I put with it? What can I put? So I had these parts laying here. I had the stones laying here. I had chain. I had, you know, mounts. So anyway, so I had this mount.
Are you making a necklace?
Well, I think I am. I'm not putting it together yet because I'm still deciding.
Oh, okay.
But I must be going to do these colors because I glued this in here, so I'm stuck now. So I do know this is going to be a bib necklace. So now what will I do? Well, I don't want to make it a heavy, heavy bib necklace. So I thought I would make some like spacer dangles or whatever you want to call them. And I used this little bead. Where is it? A loose one. I need a loose one.
Right there. There's a bunch of
You see? Okay. No, that's not it. This one. Okay, this bead. This bead. I have a whole. Here we go. This one. You can see better. Okay.
Yeah,
It's this one. These mirror ball beads that we have at the site. I'm absolutely over the moon nuts about. I don't know if they're out of stock. I don't think so. I just replaced them. She can put the link up if you guys want to use them. Anyway, you would think, now how does that go with that? Because this is a warm color. This is cool. But you know, that's just a thing with color. You start playing around. I dragged out all kinds of beads just to see, you know, I'm going to go. I could go this way, I could go that way. And the color will influence the design, which way I go too. So if I use this, it's going to influence me a lot. So I don't know if I'm going to. I might want to find something that bounces a little bit better. I might want to go a different way entirely. But anyway, let's just say I'm doing it. Okay, so I would probably go, where's my other little side pieces now? I had little side pieces, where did they go? Oh, here they are. Okay, so now to break this up a little bit, I'll put this little charm in there, maybe. And then another one of these, and another one of these. And then what I might do to pull it all together, because I got colors in here, I might distress this a little bit. These links in here, they could be distressed with steel wool or nail file. And maybe this a little bit, and then maybe I might add a little bit of a color to it, or just let the highlights pop out. I don't know. I might do color. I might do a patina blue with it or something. It's all going to be based on whatever color I put in here. Or it could be this one. See, she's already getting into it. Could be this one.
It kind of flows with the lace. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
I just kind of thought maybe it was too big for there, but I don't know. It's a thought. It's a thought, you know. And there's
Don't know until we
right. So now then I would have to figure out, you know, what kind of chain I'm going to use. All right. So I had this, but then it goes with this, but it doesn't really go with that. So probably not. So I could go with like brass ox with black, but then it should be something that picks up this. So I might need to do a smaller bead, like maybe something like this in there or something. I don't know. I don't know. It bounces in a strange way and then not at all. So it may not be a good decision, but this is what you do. You start moving stuff around on the table like you do to make one piece. The only thing is you're going to bounce off this to make more pieces, and I'll show you in a minute. So I'm still deciding about the chain. I do have some rusted iron chain here left over from the project. In fact, I need to send more in to be plated. But I have this nice Figaro, this rusted iron. Put on here and put a few beads. But anyway, at the end of the day, I want to make a design that someone would be drawn to and would buy. And this piece would be what I'd call a statement piece. Maybe some of you have seen the pyramid of cells that I post once in a bit over at the group. Talks about your bread and butter pieces and the next, you know, sweet spot pieces and statement pieces and then your one-of-a-kind pieces. And how, you know, that whole thing goes in your line. But this piece would be a statement piece, I think. I don't know if I'd call it one of a kind because I could repeat it. Not that maybe I would. You know what, another thing I might do is once I build this all, one way to build a line would be to make 5 of these in each color. So I could do just all a line of this design and then do one on this one do one on the silver, do one on the gold. I don't have them right here, but to show you, just keep doing them. You could do one that's smaller, like I showed you how to do one on 3 inches. We had that big necklace video a little while ago, do one on 3 inches. But it's all based on the same pieces and color bits and, So let me just finish this one and show you how I bounced. Okay, so I have this going on. I'm not completely decided yet, but I bounced with the design is going to have this shape. Let's just put it that way. It's going to have this shape.
You might have to bring it more down.
Do I? Okay, well, I just wanted to push it up so they could see the other stuff I'm going to drag out.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so now, I needed a pair of earrings. These aren't the right colors, but this is probably how I'll go, with drop earrings like this. Okay, now, here's a cool thing. Brass ox parts go really nicely with rusted iron. You can use brass ox jump rings, you can use brass ox chain, you can use brass ox lobster claw clasp, head pins, eye pins. It's fine. In fact, we have at the site, it's under here, somewhere, this one. We have at the site these long 3-inch ones, eye pins, and so you can see they're a little lighter, but they're kind of like the color of the highlight, a little bit lighter. But these are called dirty brass. They're not even brass ox, and they blend with a lot of things. You can even sometimes make them blend a little bit with gingerbread if you need to. So, because stuff plated elsewhere. But anyway, if I have, gingerbread eye pins and head pins at some point, I'm going to have to find somebody else to do them, which is not a problem because I have a number of platers I can work with, but I prefer my main guy. Okay, so I have earrings. So I'm probably going to do some kind of drop earring. What I might do, I might use this also to make a drop earring because that bounces right off of there. You repeat. Like some of the elements in the big design, you repeat them elsewhere. You could make a simple little charm bracelet. Don't use the big grid chain. A simple little charm bracelet and make more of these for your drops on it. So you can have earrings out of this, charm bracelet with drops. You have this big opus piece here with that. Okay, so now I was thinking, what do I do? So I've got this one, I've got this one, I've got this one, and this one, and this one that I made. I'm not saying go load up all your bezels and mounts, but I did because I wanted to try something. So anyway, so this I thought, if I want to make another kind of statement-y type necklace, I could do this. Honey, where's that stuff we brought? Oh, here it is. She went and got me some stuff to put with this. So I could, what is all in here? This. Oh, I've got 2 holes there, so I have to do a little bit of finagling to make that work.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's turn it around. Let's do it this way. Go like this. Be a 2-piece drop necklace. Not the statement that this is, but, and then I could go through this hole maybe. I just need a bigger jump. Or I could just do 2 jumps here and go to chain and not worry about it. Okay, so we got that idea. We could do this. Yeah, there we go. To make a simpler necklace. And I'm using the multi-opal there. It's not even quite the same color, but you can make earrings to go with this. You can make bracelets to go with this, and it kind of it's the same thing, same style, but not really. So what you're doing when you veer off like that, you're going to a subline, but it all goes together. I mean, can you picture if you use these parts and you were in a department store, which, that's not really likely to happen anymore because department stores are all dying. Or they're doing their own lines, and they're all Chinese. But, back in the day, say when you went to a better department store and you went to the counter and you looked at the Trifari counter, the Monet counter, these are brands you don't hardly see anymore. But they were really, really popular. for years and years and years, decades and decades. And you would see a whole display. There'd be a statement piece, there'd be a couple of bracelets, maybe a chunky bracelet, maybe one that wasn't. There'd be a necklace that was less chunky, like this one. There'd be a simple, just pendant necklace. You know, there'd be a whole mess of earrings. And you'd look at it, you'd say, yeah, that's the whatever, the rusted iron line. You know, it all goes together. It all goes together. It's same color families, the same pieces and parts repeated, however you want to do them. You know, you don't have to do it the way I did it. I was just taking the stuff I had. You know, so you could have, because you got this more simple necklace here. You've got a pair of drops. You've got this one here that would be more ornate. You probably do like a beaded, you know, neckline in it. So I have to find the right beads to go with it. Which again, these would not be a bad choice. Or these. But they're kind of a little bit washed out, so maybe, I don't know, I might have to buy these, I don't know. Or maybe I would go with something like this. Now, you might say, ew, you know, but if you take that and you put it together right, this could just bounce off everything. I don't know if you can see that even. I love these beads. I'm not sure we even have them anymore.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we do.
do we still have these?
I think
A
a lot.
good many of them? I love these beads. I'm absolutely over the moon nuts about these beads. In fact, these beads might be a better choice than this one.
I think you had multiple colors of those beads.
We have blue. We have blue. They're called cathedral beads, but it's very hard to find them made that way. So that one might be, you know, you just go through your stuff and you start messing around. Or you might say, do I want to get it with a Picasso? Well, no, because it doesn't bounce from that too well. But, you know, you just keep putting stuff up there and seeing, oh, you know, do I want to go this way? Do I want to go that way? For example, I have other things here, too. I have this bowl. I could go, instead of with this, I could go, let's put a cap on. I love to see caps on the end of a bead as much as possible, which I didn't put any on the other one. I could go with this, and that's more in tone, but it's kind of dark. It's a little dark, so maybe not. You just play with it, you know. You just play with it till you get it right. These are bronze metallic. Let's see what they look. I don't know. They go with the rusted iron, but not with these stones. So this is what you go through. You just have to try stuff, until, you know, you get a beat going. And then once you got your color palette and you have your brass and your pewter all lined up, what would be your main parts, then you're ready to go. Nah, that's too, no. Not if you're going to use with this. I'm not liking that. So let's see what people were saying. Hey, Gail, thanks for coming. I'm glad you came. Mary Kegel's here. Yeah, I learned to follow it. Me too. Hey, Rose. Let's see who else came. Sheila. Those little Y findings. Yeah, we had a bunch of them come in. Melissa Kenworthy. Oh, I'm so happy to help with the videos. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I love the Picasso too, Gloria. I wish I could get more. Some of my suppliers that I've had for many years, they're very old school. And they don't want to do it. So a lot of times you're stuck, maybe work with a company that goes to the Czech Republic and has them made for themselves, which he could do, but he just doesn't want to spend the money, so I don't know what to say. Anyway, that's another subject. But let's get back to the line. Let's put this bead back on here. Where did it go? I lost my bead. Here's one. Now this is a dilemma because it's like I've used these beautiful stones and they're nice with the rusted. But then when I go to put other things with them, it's like, oh, do I have the right bead? You know, I may have to buy some beads. But that would be terrible, wouldn't it? Because if I buy beads, that means that you're going to be able to get some too if you want it. So, okay, so I got a couple pieces left. This one could also be a simple necklace. That's very pretty. I like that. This is a very popular finding. So you can have one like that, but then you have one, okay, let's move it over here. So you can have one like that, But then you have one like this. And then you could take and say, okay, so I'm doing this here. So what about this pinch bail? Would this work? This tier cast. And I think it's not going to work because the hole is not big enough. But I think it could be an okay blend. I might have to fiddle around with it to make it work. But that's a thought too. I have to get some more of that tier cast. So I've got this piece left. This piece, I love this piece for making bracelets. And what a beautiful stone to have a bracelet from. Do I have a tiny strand of deep blue beads that you could pair with what you're holding in your hand, pull the colors together?
Deep blue?
She wants me to try deep blue. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what I got that's deep blue, Susan, and it's not a bead, but maybe it will give you an idea. Okay, I've got this piece of broken 1928 jewelry. This is sapphire blue. So maybe what I want are some sapphire beads or sapphire AB.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what I want. I'm just working today with what I had on my table. That doesn't mean what I'm going to do. But sapphire looks great with this. In fact, this piece of broken bling could probably be trimmed up with the cutters. And I got two good holes here still at the top, and I could make something out of that, and that could go into here, and then we'd have another subline going on. But it's still, it all blends. It all blends nicely. It's a shame about this, let me tell you. This is a stinking shame about this necklace. Because this necklace is very expensive. I was like, I don't know, $250 or something. And it's glass, it's not plastic. But anyway, what do you think about that, Susan? What do you think about, I think this is good. This is probably the way to go. But then I've got this sea green here. Well, let's put it up. Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, sapphire blue is probably the way to go. I don't know if we have sapphire blue at the site right now. Do we? We do sometimes. I tend to not buy ordinary beads. I like something that's different. Because you know what? You can get, and you guys all know this, you can get check fire polish anywhere. And it's not expensive. But you can get it anywhere. And that's what I kind of feel like. Oh, I love you too, Melissa. I'm so glad you're back in the game. Art major here. Throwing some red or purple up in there. That's good too. I'm just working with what I had, Miss Gloria. I have some other things too. Like here, I took these out. Maybe this mix. There's purple and red in here. Oh, to see red? You want to see red? I do have red. I have these spectre beads in red. Ooh. This would be great if I hadn't put these stones in here already. We have a stone, that Mexican fire opal, that jelly stone that has the purple and red in it. That would bounce like crazy off of that. That would be awesome. So maybe it will be a subline. You could just keep building, 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 building. You could even use a little broken bling, but if you do, make sure you have enough to do repeats, or you're going to use it on your statement piece, and maybe it's one of a kind. I've got here in this busted piece, I can make something out of this because I've got 4 lengths. I could make something out of this piece because I've got enough hanging holes that aren't destroyed. This one too. And this one too. I've got a good bit of stuff I could use there. So yeah, I could throw it in there just for a line's sake, but I wouldn't be able to repeat those pieces. But you know, that's not such a bad thing either. Did it stop again, Javi? It's twirling.
We're still alive.
Oh, we're still alive? Okay, well nothing's moving here, so I don't know what's going on. Well, I'll just have to talk. Sometimes a seed bead will do. That's true. It could. Although I'm not into seed beads much, but I do have them. I have boxes of them because Mel didn't want them, so he sent them here. I said, don't send me your seed beads. Anyway, so yeah, you know what? I'm liking the blue. That's where I'm going with this. When I get the beads, I'm gonna buy some beads. That's where I'm gonna go. And then I have parts here. So, I mean, I could just go on, go on, go on, go on. Yeah, I know this isn't quite the right color, but at the same time, there's just some curious thing about that that makes me want to do it. It doesn't not go, but it doesn't go. That's my brain. That's my brain. Okay, okay, I talked about doing a bracelet. This is the way I would do the bracelet. And I had a piece of beaded chain here that I was going to use with it. I'm not going to use the chain, but you'll be able to see. Okay, so I have this piece here, which is usually a focal center piece, but in this case, I'm going to use it as the link to hold, you know, to attach. Put this piece in here. In fact, I might not use this piece. We have these hands in the smaller size. It might be good to use the smaller size and not waste this great big focal. There's a place for costing out and being practical. There's a smaller one that will work just as good. Probably that's a good thing to do. Then I have this other piece over here. I like, yeah, I would go with a smaller one and a smaller lobster. That's way too big. I like something bracelet, you know, it wouldn't bother me at all to use a different link for every link. Now maybe that's not you. That's fine. This is my line. It's not yours. So you don't have to do that. But this is probably what I would do. And I want to take this out of here because here's a smaller one. Okay. Yeah, I'd do a smaller one. Maybe I'd do one that's kind of busy with a lot of links and then do one that's not. That's just chain. That's all. Just some chain. You know? So, and I want this to come to the side, so I can make it like this. I'm not going to use this. I'm just saying what if, you know. Although these aren't terrible with it, it's just not what I want to do. I just had this done, so I thought I make a bracelet like that. Or just do chain, just put some more on here, just do the chain and let, you know, and just let the hand be a focal or side focal. But definitely I would go with a smaller hand, not that one. It takes away from the stone for me. Anyway, yeah, it does. It's just that's what I had on my table. So that's the process. You play around with it until, yeah, the hands for the clasp are great, but I would definitely do the smaller one. Blue Spectras, yeah, if they were dark enough. Most of the ones I had back here had kind of a, I can't speak, had kind of a teal, here we go. These are the ones I had back here. These kind of teal two-tone dealios, and
They could always use some of the bead mixes too. I know.
yeah, this would be good.
For the bead mix.
Yeah, there's a Ocean So Blue bead mix, Mermaid
Yes.
Cove, but it's sold out. I'll have to see if I can redo it. This would be perfect.
Yeah.
I'd even work with that. So, you know, just there's so many ways you can go. This is just, I'm just showing you how the process works. I'm not saying I'm doing this. You know, I was working with what I had. And, you know, sometimes that's what you do. You begin to work with what you have, and then you realize, So then you go and you get through your stash till you find the next thing. Before you know, you got something that's completely different than where you even started. But you have a line because you're putting it all together. And that's the way it works, pretty much. Basically, you need 5 pieces for build a line, so you're going to do 5 pieces that all go together. They have common parts. They have common colors. And that's how you do it. I'm just going to tell you a little side point here. You guys ever get this hand, and you see this is not closed here? For me, before they send it to me. But this is the way they make it. Let's see if you can see it. Oh, I got myself off to the side. Now we stopped again. There you go. It's buffering like a little bit. See, let me move it back a little bit. I can't really let you see this. Come on. It's like behind time. I'll get it. There we go. Now you can see it. You see, it's like a C. That's supposed to be closed before they plate it. But why do they make it that way? Why is it cast that way? It's because sometimes he likes to put a chain straight on it and then close it and have it all plated together. So there's not jump rings in there or anything. So that's the way they do that. So anyway, there's my demo of how to start a line and bounce from it. But basically, just keep this in your mind. Thank you, Betty. Thanks for coming. 5 pieces for the class, Rachel. But if you want to make a line, you could do one line and then a bazillion sublines, and then that makes you the designer because everything you do is cohesive and goes together. So you would bounce from your first design of, I say 5 pieces. That's the easy way to start. You can do more. You can do, it's good. And then you could just go on to other designs, but everything bounces from your initial one. So you fill your Etsy store or you fill your booth with a certain look. And that's your look. Now, that's talking in your voice. That's not, oh, we got a steampunk piece over here. Oh, we got a big bejeweled repurposed piece over here. Oh, we got a plain pair of chain earrings. We got a chapel, whatever. You can do that and your customers will be entertained. But when you pull your act together and get your act together, that's when you become a designer. And your stuff just takes a leap forward. And when people look at it, they perceive it as being more expensive. The perceived value goes way up, and you become, somebody they want to come back to and buy more. They'll start with one piece, usually it's earrings, and then they'll come back to you, and they'll buy another piece of that line and another piece, so they'll collect it. You are encouraging people to collect your work when you do that. And if they only make one, you could probably get them to make another one because artisans do that. They oblige people that way if they've got the parts. But that's how you develop your look. My look is kind of, I have to admit, it's kind of, I can do this. This is not a problem for me. I mean, I did it for years. But because mostly I just make teaching pieces now, I tend to be all over the place because you guys, want to know how to do different things. We have the leather stuff now that we're working with. We have, the assemblage things. We have Javi's wire type stuff. We have the wonky wire and all that. But I think at the end of the day, if you put all those pieces on the table, you'd probably say, Bisou made that. Or somebody that follows her made that. That's in her style. I think it's likely to say that. Like, for example, how many here know Beansy? Beansy from the Vintage Heart, the charm bracelets, Lisa? When she makes a charm bracelet, even though her charm bracelets are all one of a kind, and she uses different parts and different colors in them, right now, Beansy made that. Not somebody else trying to do that style. Beansy made that one. She uses the same bracelet most of the time, the charm base. And she spaces her stuff a certain way. She uses antique pieces along with replica pieces. She uses some pieces of 1928 in her stuff. When you see that stuff, it's hers. And there are others among us too, that when you see their stuff, they made it. And that's the goal. For some of us, it takes a while to get there. I kind of think I like organic looking pieces. If I could choose, I would probably not wear this, even though I like it very much. I like wonky polymer clay beads and just very organic looking stuff. Or I like statement jewelry that's gold tone or copper, or mix of copper and silver, that kind of thing. That's what I like to wear. But what I like to make, tends to be a little bit fussy, and that's something I've had to learn too. The more parts you put on something, the more it just costs you to make it. I learned that from Mel. He's a stickler for that. So, when you make something, you want to stand back, you want to look at it and say, does that have to be on there? A lot of times you'll start thinking, no, let's take this off. Coco Chanel used to say, put on all your jewelry that you like to go with your outfit. Just load yourself up, and before you walk out the door, take one piece off. So that might be one way you check yourself that way. Costing helps a lot too. When you start figuring out, what's going to cost. This piece would have to cost a good bit of money. This is an expensive mount. This is an expensive chain. But as far as making it, I'm not going to have a lot of labor into it, especially now that I have it thought out. It's going to be, 30 minutes maybe to put that together. Unless I decide to veer off, the exit stage left like I do. And then, it could take longer because I start trying something else. But if I just put this together straight with whatever chain I go with, and I might not go with this because it's just too skinny. I might have to like triple it or something or double it to make that work. But anyway, that's how that goes. Lots of different trends too. That's right. So, you have to make jewelry that looks like my stuff. If you want to, that's fine. I don't care. But I'm just saying, you can take the parts we sell and the other people sell and make something that's completely your own. And if you do, I could do nothing but applaud you, because that's great. Make your own look. Go your own way. There's a billion colors out there in the wide world and a billion ways to express yourself. Pick one and start there. Pick one and start there. Get your act together. You don't have to. What did you do, Harry? You don't have to learn every technique that's out there. Find the ones that appeal to you and learn those. When you get tired of them, then add another one. For me, it's a little hard because people want to see more than assemblies. They want to see a bunch of, other things, and some of it's stuff that I'm going to have to learn right along with you. But the one thing that I like about the way I've always done my videos is that I've never been afraid to make a mistake on camera. So if I do, we'll just laugh about it and say, well, that's not what to do. And we keep going on until I get it right, so we all learn together. So I don't care. That's fine. So we'll be doing a lot more with leather. And speaking of leather, I just saw this. Look at that. How good would that look with rusted iron? We have this on the site. I love this stuff. Yeah, I don't know what color we call it. Dark chocolate or something, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, but it's the perfect match. So that might be good. You could do your bracelet with some leather cord. Why not? Or there's this piece of rusted iron that I like. It says love. This could be in your line. And it's rusted iron. It can be in there. And then you could use the cord.
That's true.
And just, crimp it off here, put it on, and then use your caps at the end to finish it off. And then maybe hang a bead or two, maybe, sapphire bead or sapphire A bead, whichever you went with, or I would go with here, to pull it together. Or maybe a little froth of tiny beads right there. Just a little something, something, a little frilly something, something. And now it goes in the line. So you bring your line together with the materials that you use and the colors you choose. The materials you use and the colors you choose. And by the way, Susan Bowerman was best in class the first year. And she's with us today, so how appropriate is that? Yay, Susan. And now Susan works a lot with polymer clay, and she's knocking it out of the park with that too, because we all change and we grow and we do different things. So that's awesome. One thing though, just to tell you so you don't have that pressure on you, we had best in class for a few years, and then I don't do it anymore because some people felt pressure. Oh, I'm not going to be good enough, or I'm going to look stupid or whatever. So I just said, you know what, we don't have to do that. So we don't do that anymore. But the year Susan did this class, we did it and she won. And I'll tell you what, she had some stiff competition that year, but she won. So that's great. So yeah, there's Mookie Ragney had she had a big article that she did, and all of her parts were from our place. I think Lisa Mitchum did one too. Her parts weren't entirely from our place, but a lot of them were. So yeah, they've been out there. So anyway, yeah, you could weave the leather in. Absolutely, you could. You could. I mean, there's just this is thanks for coming, Chris. I'm so glad. Hey, Paula, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. So anyway, it's getting late. We've been on together for a while, and I've thoroughly enjoyed this. But I wanted to show you just a couple more things, and then I'm going to take off, okay, if you have time. Um, you know, this weekend we had a special thing going on. You could win this, because let me tell you what, it's been slow this weekend, so you could like so win this. And this is a dealio and a half. All you have to do is put an order of any size in before midnight tonight. And if you do, you'll be entered into a contest to win this piece, which is a mandolin locket necklace. Maybe some of you remember it. We do have it on the site now. The retail on this is $85. I sell it at the website for $68 because all of my 1928 is discount, 20% off. But this is awesome. And the history of this is Lauren was on Poshmark looking for clothes one day, and she saw this, and the person wasn't selling it for very much, so she got it for me. And so when it came in, I was so enraptured from it that I had Mel make it, and he made 50 of them. And I got them all. Well, I stuck my neck. I'm not going to do that again. I can't. But anyway, I got them all. Because he won't make them for me unless he gets 50, unless he's going to sell some too. I got them all. He didn't want to sell them. So I think I have 5 on the site, and I have just a few left beyond that. And then that's all there is of this. It's not going to make it anymore ever. So it's a very special piece. But you could win this. That's what I'm saying. You could win this. If you put an order in tonight for any amount whatsoever at www.bsuboutiques.com, you'll get this, but that's not all. Free shopping certificate to Bisa Boutiques. So you're going to get this expensive piece of jewelry and a $25 free shopping certificate. Gift certificate, if you want to call it that. You're going to get that. So if there's anything that you need, don't forget Deal of the Day is out. It's a locket today. It's a little tiny locket. This is I Love You, and it's 50 cents. And on the Deals of the Day, you can buy as many as you want, or as little. So, you know, hey, if you buy on the mall and we're sold out, tough, you know, I'd take put something else up, which I can. Yes, Gloria, you do have it. A few of us here have it. But for those who don't, or maybe would like to get another one and give it to somebody because it's a fantastic gift you could win. We haven't had a ton of orders. We had some very nice orders this weekend, but we haven't had a ton. So, I mean, the possibility of you winning is great indeed. So that's why I wanted to tell you about it. It'll come gift box for you, and I will announce who won it tomorrow at the creative group. So if you don't belong to the creative group, you might want to come over and join us. It's at Facebook, Bisa Boutiques Creative Group. Just come over and ask to be let into the class, okay?
You can click on the link below.
Yeah, oh, she put a link. Okay, so there's that. And then another thing I want to say, I want to show you these beads. I haven't even put them up on the site yet. I love these. These are so cool. They're brass, or brass plate at least. They're so cool. These make great earrings. If you take, let's see, I don't think I'm even on camera here. Let me get over here. There we go. If you take and you use a long chain with them, you make Downton Abbey style flapper type earrings. They're awesome. I made a pair and I sold them immediately. And these are great too for using your markers on and coloring them and making them your way, you know. So anyway, anybody who orders today and tomorrow who says video in the memo box, not the coupon box, the memo box, is going to get, you have your order, gets 2 of these free and probably another little something something that I threw in. So I'm going to make a little tiny goodie bag for you if you want to come and get something. Then I'll give you another little stuff. You can not only be entered to win the mandolin locket, but you can get a little special gift. Just put video. That way we know you watched. Okay. So be sure and get your name on here, guys, for now, because I'm going to do a giftie. So within an hour, I'll have that for you, too. And you'll know who won. Okay? So I'm going to give you a nice little giftie. And probably what I'm going to do is give you, in your giftie, I'm going to give you this piece. So you can start with your line. I'll give you this piece and another couple little doofus things, and just fun. You know, my gifties are fun. You know, and I'll do that every time I do a live, but I will not be doing a live next week. I don't know when the next one is going to be. I will let you know. I'm going to kind of go off and work on doing some produced videos now that have not so much, you know, visiting in them, but that talk about a technique. And I'm going to, Javi's after me to make shorter videos, so we're trying to keep them at 15 minutes. So we'll see if the next one I can do it. I'm going to try hard. So anyway, get your name on here. Shucks, I already ordered. Is any order any size, Deborah? Maybe you forgot something. Jordan can strip the shipping off the second order. You know, don't do it though if you don't want to. I'm not trying to pressure anybody. I'm just saying you'd have a chance, but then you might not win it, and then you say, "Why did I listen to her?" So anyway, thanks for coming, Barb. Appreciate it, and thanks Michelle for coming, and thanks Jana. She didn't say video. No, you didn't, because it didn't. That order didn't qualify because it was before the video. Yeah, it's from the video, so. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Nancy, so nice to see you again, all of you. So nice to see you again. We'll do this again in a few weeks, okay? And I will let you know in plenty of time so that you can maybe make it over. I know we have a lot of holidays this next month going on, so, you know. And then Bill Line's coming right up, so don't forget that. I hope maybe you'll consider being part of it this year. Okay. Much love to you, Melissa, dear. Love you so much. You take care of yourself. Happy, happy, happy everybody. Every day is Thanksgiving. Don't ever forget that. Every day that you live is Thanksgiving. If you live your life with gratitude in your heart, your life is just easier. I know how I know, because mine is, the last couple of years has been kind of tough. And I just said myself, look at this. But yeah, look at this. Things may not be so great, but look at all the friends I have. And you too. Look at all the friends you have. People, you know people all over the world. Isn't that a hoot? Yeah, this life is good. So enjoy it, okay? And be happy. Love you all. And hi, Lori. Hi, Karen. I'm still saying hi. Samantha. You guys all take care, and I'll see you on the flip-flop. Like they say, I'll catch you on the flip-flop, whatever that is. Where's the chicken? Okay, chicken says bye-bye. You guys are great. Yay! Thanks.